Hi there, it's time for a wrap up for this week 8 in my little, get myself together journey. And this is just going to be a quick and short one. It was a holiday weekend last weekend and I had a great time. And I did manage to work on my front closet area. So this is actually right next to the laundry area. So I'm just kind of shifting over. So I'm going to lead into that here. Okay, so my next project is to tackle my front closet, coat closet. It's kind of where I keep my coats and my shoes, and it's not too bad, but it definitely could use improvement. I do have a bunch of shoes that I'm going to get rid of. A lot of my higher heels, they're just too tight and not comfy, and I think if anything the last year has taught me is that, I'm not interested in doing that anymore. So I don't have a ton of shoes to start off with, but I do have a few. This is also where I store my iron and ironing board. This is actually my water hose to water my outside garden. So it shouldn't take too long. I am hoping though to store my vacuum in here and my mop. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I am getting rid of 4 pairs of shoes. Surprisingly, 2 of them are sneaker-like. Actually, I did a purge not that long ago that I forgot about and got rid of a lot of my shoes. So that is what is leaving the space. Let me show you what it's looking like so far. So I moved the shoes over on this side because it's more easily accessible, and I access those way more than I do the jackets. To be honest, I very rarely wear a jacket, but I do have to hold on to them for various reasons. I need a winter jacket for when I go to Canada. I need a warmer jacket when I travel to places like the UK, and even though it doesn't rain here very often, again, when I travel, it's helpful to have a rain jacket. So you get the idea, right? So really, the only jackets I wear on a normal kind of basis are these first 4. They fit, and they serve a purpose, so I will be keeping them in here. I still need to tackle the top. At the bottom, I test fitted, sorry for the lighting, I test fitted the mop and the vacuum cleaner, and I also threw in the broom, and I think that will work. Like I said, I'm going to overhaul the other closet, and if I do have room, maybe some of these things will migrate back there, but I'm buying a little freezer and that is going in that space, and I need to make sure I have enough room. Okay, let's tackle this. I'm going to pull everything out, wipe down the shelf, and then we'll see what can fit back up here. Now I do have a Christmas decoration tucked in behind, and ideally I would like that to go in another closet, so I may not put that back up initially, but it may end up back here depending on how everything else flows out. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so this is meant to be kind of my outdoor beach bag, and to be honest, you guys, I get these kind of free bags and stuff and I never use them, so I'm just going to donate that. Okay, my big floppy hat, I need to keep that. This is my beach bag, and I have another floppy hat in there. And goggles. This is something I need to repair. What else do I got in here? Produce bags. These should probably go somewhere else. And sliders, which should go somewhere else. And I need to put my beach towel in here. So to be honest, I don't like either of these hats. They are actually too small. They're too tight on my head. And so I'm not going to keep both of them. I am going to keep this one. This one seems to fit a little better than the black one. So I am going to keep this one, and I'm going to be on the lookout for a replacement, something that fits a little better. It'll do in a pinch, but like I said, I don't like to wear it because it doesn't fit properly, and so then I end up not wearing it, so why am I keeping it? So I am going to hold on to it, like I said, temporarily, just in case, because I am pretty fair-skinned, if I do go out to the pool or beach or something, it is good to have that. But I do need something a little bit bigger. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that. Keeping the beach bag. I threw the water shoes, my swim cap, and goggles all in this bag because they would tend to be used together. And this bag just contains towels that I use at the gym and locks that I use when I go to the gym. So my apartment actually does have a small gym, so I don't need the locks, but they fit in here and not taking up too much room, so I might as well keep them. I will use the towels. I think maybe it might be open again. Maybe I need to start incorporating that into my weekly movement goal. But anyways, that's what's in here. So that's all going to go back in there along with the towel. Okay, so most everything ended up back in the same bin. I did throw in this here. This is just a sheet that I use kind of like a drop cloth if I need to protect surfaces and stuff. I will throw these produce bags back in here. They are a backup supply. Here are my gym towel bags. I try to file these all vertically so I can just pull them out with disrupting everything. My beach towel, my beach bag with my hat. There's that package of swimming stuff, and then here are the furniture sliders, also vertically, so I can easily see them. Let's put this all back. Okay, everything is back. I just shifted stuff around in order of what I use most frequently. So I have extra plastic bags that I use for garbage and stuff. There's the bin I just showed you, and then these two bins contain things that I use less often. It's got like winter accessories, umbrellas, that kind of stuff. Okay, I think this closet is done. I'm not going to change much on the door. I have like my little belt that I wear when I go for a walk that holds my keys and phone. And then I've got a cap that I should wear more often. My garden hose. A bag that if I'm going on a day trip or something, I will use that. So these are things that I use fairly often, and they're just easily accessible on this iron rack. Okay, so one last thing for this area is to tackle my filing. So I'm going to pull this over probably into the living room and just do a sort through it, and then I'll go through my current filing system and what I'm going to do to switch it out. Okay, in case you didn't guess it, filing paperwork is not my thing. Anyway, so I went through that pile. I have recycling, shredding, I call this more long-term filing, more reference documents, that kind of thing. And then this is short-term filing where I only keep it for 6 months and then I shred. And then this is an action item. I need to just do a couple checks to see if that is in place. This was my short-term filing system. Basically it's just an envelope, and I put a month on the top and put the items in, and then when the next month comes up I will take it out. You can see I haven't done this since February. So this works and it doesn't work, so I'm going to modify this slightly. So instead of the envelopes, I'm going to go to this Accordion File, and I'm still going to apply the same sort of logic to it, but it's going to be like January, February, March, April, May, June, and then it's going to continue on. So when I hit red here, I know I have to empty this red into recycling. Does that make sense? So I'm only ever really keeping 6 months worth of documents, ideally if I keep up with it. I think that'll work a little bit better. I think just plopping it in is easier than using the envelopes. That's the thought process anyways. So that is for my short term. And then I have a second one that I'm going to use for my reference. And I do have a binder that I keep upstairs in my bedroom that's more like long-term reference. And so I think what we'll do is periodically, maybe once a year, I'll go through this, and anything that needs to be moved up into that binder, we'll move it, and anything else, if it can be disposed of at that point in time, will be done. I think that's the plan. Of course, I should probably document this all somewhere, and maybe I will have to pull out a planner and start making note of these things. But for right now, let's just get this paperwork in some sort of container. So everything is now stored in these two documents or in the recycling or shredding pile. Normally this would go in this cabinet, but that cabinet needs to be looked at. So I'll share that with you another day. And proof that this is now empty. So that wraps up my front entryway closet. Glad to have that done. I'm not sure what I'm going to tackle next, but let me show you the disaster I've created. That's the donation pile that needs to make the way to the car. Sorry for the glare. And this is the pile of stuff that might be going to the donation. We're just not quite sure yet. Most of this is empty containers. I kept the empty boxes so that I could put stuff like this in, and it just makes it easier to transport it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to tackle next. Be sure to stay tuned to find out what's next on my journey of getting this apartment sorted out. And the week was pretty good. Walking was okay. I started doing some yoga stretching or yoga stretches. I don't know if that's how you would call it. I wouldn't say it was like a full-blown yoga session. It's about 15 to 20 minutes. And that's been really surprising how good I feel after doing that. So I'm really encouraged by that. And the diet's been okay. Still room for improvement. Okay, so that's it for this week's wrap up. And stay tuned midweek for my meal plan for the coming week. Thanks so much for joining me, and it's time to get this weekend started.